Alright, so this is just going to be a little video on how to make a mob fire an arrow with a drawback animation and a fire an animation. It's just going to be real quick. First you need is two animations. You need the drawback animation like this, and then you need his fire an animation like this. So this one is on hold at last frame, and then this one is just play once. Once you have both of those, we can move on to the next spot. Go in here. So if we go to the behavior of the mob right here. Let me get rid of this. There we go. All I did was I added a entity sensor. All this is doing is in a range of 2. It is detecting a family called Demon Arrow. And what I did on my custom arrow, I gave it the family component, Demon Arrow. So now this is detecting our custom arrow. So when it detects the arrow being fired, all this will do is activate the event fire arrow. We go down to events, fire arrow right here. All this is doing is removing the custom component looking for arrow and adding a custom component group called not custom component, a component group called arrow detected. So if we go up here in our components groups, the first one, arrow detected. So all this does is it gives it a skin ID of value of 1. Then it has a timer of 0.2 seconds. Then it activates the event look for arrow. So then look for arrow will remove the component group arrow detected and add looking for arrow. Looking for arrow, all you wanted to do is set the skin ID to 0. That way when it fires the arrow, it will have a skin ID of 1, which you can query for in the resource side. And then when the arrow is done like way, it will reset itself to 0. So on the resource side, it's pretty simple. Go back in here. Obviously, you'd want where's it at? Nope, that's the animations. There we go. Obviously, you want to just make it like normal, like, you know, register all of your animations. So your attack part 1, attack part 2, and make sure that you have a animation controller here. In our animation controller, we have it set up. When I find it, animation controller, you should be here. There we go. That is the animation. Right here. Sorry about that. So now, in the animation controller, when you wanted to draw back its string, the query you want to use is query has target. So that way when it has target, it's drawn back on its bowstring. And then when it fires at the player, it's going to do that arrow detected, give itself a skin ID of 1. So then in the draw animation, you want to query the second part of the animation with a skin ID of 1. Then it will activate the second part where it actually fires the arrow. Now, say if the mob cancels it, just tell it to go back to idle or walk-in, and then just say query doesn't have a target, so ignore. So this symbol always means ignore. So that means if it loses the target, it will just go back to idle, and then, you know, just repeat. So then the result will be like this. So it's pretty simple. Don't mind all my error codes there. So these are 2 mobs I coded. So as you can see, they draw back, and then they do the fire animation. Boom. And then if you back away, they will cancel, and they'll try to walk toward the player. Pretty dope. Thanks for watching.